Hey guys, what is up? Bit of a different video today. We're going to be reacting to my engineering and Defy's reaction to his race. In the video, we're going to watch his edited video, and I'm going to give some commentary. So he disconnected halfway through, so I haven't seen any of the halfway on board footage of him doing overtakes. So he was like pole and then disconnected and then came back to a good place. So let's start by watching this.
Yo, you guys, it's the Fi here. Today, I have a video from CTC Austria that happened this past Sunday. My pace going into it was actually pretty strong, I would say, for the lack of practice and lack of setups I had.
Excuses already.
And,
Lower expectations and exceed them.
and yeah, this is probably my best team result I've ever had on the F1 game. Now we are on to our first run of Q2. Besides our used tire run, which was, of course, way off the pace.
So he was able to do 1-1-3. So he was able to do one new tire Q1, one new tire Q2, and then three new tires Q3. So if you can do that in the first two, only doing one run on new tires, that's a big advantage in Q3. Especially at Austria, we can do three runs. Not every track you can do three runs because Austria is a lot shorter.
We nailed the first one, and the second one is pretty solid. And that's is
I always look how much ERS, if you're using all your ERS, and then the green is how much deployment you're allowed to use. So
P1.
you
And
could have
that's
used a
it
tiny bit more
for the whole
maybe, but
session.
you start losing
And
power
now
after when you're under 10%.
to
ERS.
halfway through our second run of Q3, because we had three runs. We are not on the best lap. That's why I didn't show you the start, because it was very sloppy. But this last sector was pretty good.
So he invalidated his first round, but he kept going, so he gets a delta. It's sometimes useful to have a delta. So even if you validate on your first run, you just keep going, and then you get a good delta.
Heading into the double right again. And into the double right hander, we need to keep it smooth, and we can get pole position.
He
And
was up two
now I'll let
tenths.
you hear the reaction.
He was up like 2.5 tenths, and then took it very safe. And now he's only up like 1.8.
Come on! Come on, baby!
Let's go.
And our teammate Balance Alekus in P3. Now heading into the race.
Okay, so we went already past the start. So he's already lost 2 places. TF10, both went for mediums. They were one of the only teams to both go mediums. I thought that was interesting. So you're able to gain, like Riche was able to gain that 1 place at the start. Daniel Gotchuk, he was able to gain 2 or 3 places off the start. Well, let's see what else has to say about this lap one.
We go. We're starting around halfway through lap 1, as I kind of forgot to record the start of the race, and we've already fallen to P3. And now skipping into lap 2, we get sent on by
We got 2 cents. That was kind of aggressive. Look at no overlap there.
Daniel Gosh. Like, I try to leave him space, but I accidentally hold it in 4th gear, which loses me all my exit traction and
So he's on mediums. Mediums like 3 or 4 tenths. More pace than hards on opening lap. So you're able to gain a few places.
speed. So, and as you can see, we get into a huge pile up, and that is a common theme this race. Many people going on none and saving ERS, which causes a lot of chaos.
Okay, we skipped ahead.
And now into turn 3 on lap
We got send up
4.
there.
As you can see, it literally clogs up so much. We get rear-ended as Shazoo, I think it's Gabriel Bratasi, if I'm pronouncing that right, goes for a move on my teammate. We're going to try and give him slipstream, but it's not much of a use. We kind of block him in here, but not too badly. But our
So one thing when I'm watching Racecraft stuff, it's where you're defending and if you're defending free air. Again, they don't like to use virtual rear view, which I always like to see how much alongside other drivers. If someone's going for ascent, I think you can see it a lot easier than either flipping back or trying to look at these little mirrors, which you can't see anything. Like you want to be over here. So that's the normal racing line. So if you're defending free air, you're gonna get a worse exit. And if you're not defending anyone, if you're not actually, you're just gonna lose pace to the cars ahead. So it's like if you're defending, you defend. But if you're not gonna defend, or if like the defense it's over, then you get back to the racing line as fast as you can, so you can get that good exit and hit the corner as ideal as you can.
much of a use. We kind of block him in here, but not too badly. But our teammate will stay ahead.
So they're scrapping behind. So you could have got back to the racing line and had a bit of a better exit, but you're still in the same place.
What we need to battle for the win together. And now we just have to try and keep the car as tidy as possible. Stay in the train of the medium runners.
So when they're flashing, it means they're going to none. It's either none or they're less than 10%. It's none because I was able to see how much battery they had.
And try not to lose any more positions than we have to. Now, skipping ahead, I don't know why I made a cut here, but I think that's just something I need to improve on in my editing. But as you can see, on this exit, we go wide and get a warning. That's our first warning. We need to watch out because we're only on lap 5 and we already have a warning, which means we will not make it to the end of the race. As you can see, we hit Daniel Goshtak into turn 1 because of how fogged up the train is becoming. And this is, again, a very common theme, as I'll say. You can see they battle hard, going none into the final hairpin, and we're going to go around the outside of Daniel Goshtak.
All right, let's see what happened there. Like,
and this is, again, a very common theme, as
he was going out, like, Gottschalk was trying to make it 3 wide,
I'll say.
Which was, but like, under braking, he's barely at the rear tire.
They battle.
So this is where you're going for a move, you're way off the racing line. So then he's got to back out here. He gets no exit. He's like on top of the curb, bottoms out the curb, gets no exit.
We're going to go around the outside of Daniel Goshtak.
That's how you get the place, and that's why getting back to the racing line is important, and you don't want to be so far off the racing line on those moves that don't really matter.
And get better traction because the outside curb is just kind of basically free grip hacks. We're going to try and give our slipstream to our teammate, Balantalekas, but it doesn't end very well, and we hit Danny Van Ruin. Balantalekas does not get past, unfortunately, and
so it's already lap 10. One thing to note, the mediums only had pace advantage for the first 8 laps. So if you're using mediums and you're not able to gap out front, you're not able to get any pace advantage on the hards. You kind of wasted the mediums, right? You should be able to gain seconds over the first 8 laps on the hards, but because DRS is so powerful, we got 3 DRS zones. It's really hard to do that. So what you're really doing is just giving more pace to the hards. That's assuming you're not fighting, and if you're fighting, you're not using the mediums at all to your advantage. Except for gaining places on the first lap, they were able to get the lead on the first lap, and then Gottschalk was able to gain some places too. So that's the trade-off.
Skipping on to lap 10, as you can see, our teammates actually dropped out of the top 5. I think he had a little incident there. I don't remember.
So I like a few laps ago, I was like at like lap 6 or something. I was like, Defy, like we're in a really good spot. We got like almost full battery. TF10, they didn't have as much battery as we did. They were on mediums, and we were like still in the train with them. So the advantage is going to come in the second stint. You can use that battery on an out lap or an in lap to help counter that undercut that the medium hard is naturally going to do.
Remember exactly what happened, but TDM Lighty is behind us, and he is pressuring us, so we're going to have to use a bunch of our battery, try and make it 3 wide, which we did not want to do, but we back out, and Tony Riche boxes in Lighty, meaning we get better traction, and on the fresher, better hard tires at this point, we're going to be able to use the DRS to get a...
I think I was saying you got more DRS than Tony. He was running low. So I was like, at this point, it's a straight line contest, and you got more DRS. So you should be able to win this into the next corner.
Round him and box him in with...
And he was. Now wait. Before that, like, it's hard to see if he ever fully cleared Riche. But if he did, you want to cut back to this area right here on the track. And at this point, he did. I mean, the red arrow is always tricky about if it's red, are they really alongside, or are they not, or is it hesitant? But you want to get back to the racing line as fast as you can.
A pretty crucial move, just to make sure Danny Van Ruin didn't somehow break the DRS.
So up 12. I was like, they're going to pit soon. TF10, I think 13, 14, I think.
Me and Danny just start basically really good teamwork. Yeah, we basically swapped, I think, almost every lap until lap 14, which a little incident occurred. We'll see here soon. But yeah, we would just swap on the first straight. That was a little rear lock by me, which was not ideal, but...
Like I was saying, Riche's... I think I said Riche 28, maybe?
I think we were just both trying to save ERS and stuff, so... It was kind of just good teamwork from the two of us. And yeah, as you can see, he were locked in the chicane or the hairpin, so we're kind of making the same mistakes in clean air.
71.
And now,
So here, TF10 pitted. You can see them in blue right here. So the mediums got chalk pitted a lap before, and V-shape pitted the next lap. So they're going to be together in a DRS train helping each other out.
into the hairpin on lap 14, we're going to go up the inside there. May have not been the smartest decision as we don't get DRS, and our tires actually lock.
So now it's any fighting that these hard runners are doing is good for TF10 in the medium hard strategy.
And now Leidy gets very close. We start lagging a little bit, which is concerning. And we're going to send it up the inside of Danny Van Ruin. But as you can see, on this exit, they drop back, and I'm like, oh wait, I got them. But
Yeah, this happens sometimes. You think like I've had disconnects too. You're like, oh my god, I'm getting so much pace so quickly, and then well, look, I'm just gaining places so easily. But no, you disconnected. Everyone else goes to AI, which the AI cars are slower, and then you're screwed.
as you can see, the red X means I have disconnected from the race.
And sometimes you get the migrating the host, but like it's just the host that left, so you're okay. But it's like once you start seeing everybody has left the session, boom, 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 then that's a bad sign.
And I'm very angry about this because I had an Austria race around, I think, 4 months ago where the exact same thing
Well, look at that background.
happened. And yeah, now as you can see, we disconnected on lap 14. We're getting
So now put him back 14th. He's really down more. He's down really 17th because people pitted. Here you can see TF10. 3 seconds gap to the runners here. So it's like you're either going to want to get back into that DRS train. Like there's now 2 DRS trains. There's one here, there's one here. Or you're going to want to undercut to get back into the DRS train.
back on lap, I think that says 16 or 18. And we went from P1 to P14, around 3 seconds behind the back train. And
And sometimes you lose some ERS too, depending on what the AI car is doing.
I think we're in net P17 or 18 right now, so we probably lost around 10 seconds from that.
Technically, this SRC guy, he's ahead of TF10. He undercut so early. It could have been like lap 10 or something, but he's going to get caught.
So definitely not the best thing ever. And here, now on lap 20, we're going to box. We're allowed to cut the pedantry line.
Okay, so he gained... some people boxed. I don't know if he ever gained DRS.
And we've already made up almost 2 seconds to the back DRS train, which is crazy. And as you can see, they're going super slow into the pit box.
Yep. They got all clogged. They got all together. So I think he gained... He's probably in the close to DRS coming out of the pits.
Definitely will be in the DRS, which is exactly what we need. We're going to be onto the fresh medium tires. We're boxing way earlier than expected.
That's not earlier than expected. I had 19 of the 22 written down. You're about boxing 20. I was thinking even going 18 if you couldn't get the train. And if you think people are slower in front of you, you might as well box to undercut.
But that is just so we can catch with the train, because if we don't undercut, our race is over. We lost way too much time with our disconnect, so really unfortunate. As you can see, some really early boxers passing. The Williams guys are already in turn 3
It's TF10 up here.
because of their medium hard undercut. So TF10 doing the opposite strategy of everyone. Very bold from them, and I guess we will see how it turns out. I don't think medium hard is the strat here, but I guess if you're working together as a team, it could work.
So at this point, I know I was able to like calculate quickly, like it's got like 10 laps old hards versus new mediums. It's over a second a lap. It's like 1.5 seconds a lap. Like 10 laps later, it'll be 0.6, 0.7 seconds a lap you're gaining. So I was like, a few laps later, I knew it was like we're gonna catch TF, or the lead train's gonna catch TF10. It doesn't mean Defy is gonna catch TF10, but
Work. Now on to lap 22, as you can see, Evie Chrisu gets a terrible exit. Think he had an incident there. So we're gonna turn on the battery. We're gonna try and get past one. As you can see, the ABS driver lagging a little bit. Maybe that was me. Maybe it was him. But we're gonna send a
this is a big send here.
huge lunge up the inside, braking very late, but we nail it. Leave him enough space on the exit.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, one thing I have not seen any of these overtakes. He disconnected. I didn't see his stream, so I was just like seeing his position on track, but didn't see any of these.
Traction, and we're gonna drain the rest of the battery, trying to get the overtake done. Don't have much, but as you can see, going down to 9%, going none on the ERS to save, and we leave him the space on the exit and get the move done, which Pretty solid move. And then
Got lucky there.
now on to lap 25 or 3, I think that says.
That was a bit of a late move by Xavier.
I can't read. Marcel Paps in for Shizou lags a bit, which causes us to go 3 wide with ABS Justin as well. And we actually managed to get past both of them. This was a super unexpected move. I
Seems like always at this exit, it's like a drag race of ERS down to next corner.
didn't really mean to do a double move, but you know, I'll take any move I can do. It wasn't the cleanest move, but we still left both of them space, so.
So here's TF10. 11 laps to go. Maybe 6 seconds gap. We'll see.
Perfect.
Joel has 10
And
seconds.
now, as you can see, the ETA and Ben Shawley battling very, very hard, which probably not the smartest idea to battle hard through there. As you can see, Ben Shawley lifting off, which is a smart thing to do. But we're going to take advantage of that, going up his inside in the corner, and he backs out here, thank God, because that would not have been a good move. But at this point, I was just trying to get back to the front train, as there's not much I could do after my disconnects. And now, on to the next lap. We're going to go for a move straight away onto the ETA driver. Don't have much battery, but he can't put up much of a fight because of his battling with the NLR driver. Braking late in the turn 4. That's my favorite place to make moves because you can just brake so much later than everyone else. And we want to stay in the DRS here. And as you can see, Kuba Tresniak for SRC. Don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but we're
I think he hit it early too, so he's on worse tires.
going to try. I think he had damage or something. Or he just let me pass because he did not defend. I kind of went for a gap that didn't exist there. But as you can see, in the turn 4, he just lets us pass. Very nice of him. And ETA, Joel Lindström.
So the train almost is connected with everyone because they're battling, and then they're almost up to TF10, and that's 7 laps to go. So I'm like, here, it's probably a 2-second gap here. Like, you're going to catch him. Or the lead train's going to catch him.
Lindström ahead, I think that's how you say it. And ahead of him is Jerry Van Bussel for CPI, who's on the freshest tires of the grid and is just being. And Joel is just clinging onto his DRS here. So we're going to try.
Another
and
move down here.
replace Joel and catch Jerry a little so we can work with him to catch the front train. And as you can see, gap is like 9/10. So we're going to stay in the DRS and we're going to skip on to the third to last lap because we were literally being towed along by Jerry.
So now TF10 is in 6th, one of the drivers. Tony Riche, I think, still in 1st at this point. Got some penalties up front, so 3 seconds. Track limit's really key here. Defy was only to do with 1 track limit warning entire race thus far.
For probably 6 laps straight. As you can see, that Joel still in our DRS, so he's stuck with us very well. And I will let it play out into the finish. But basically, I had some of the worst tires, besides the hard runners probably, because of the fact that I pit on lap 20 when I should have pit later. But of course, my disconnect lost me probably 10 seconds. So even making it back to the front train was a big surprise for me. As you can see, I'm going
We're at that 2 by 2. So we're going to have a slow exit.
to stick my nose up the inside. I probably wasted too much battery here, but it's fine. As you can see,
Oh,
Jared Van Bussel
boy.
makes contact with lighting and gets spun around. And we're
Let's go walk that again.
contact with wasted.
So what happened there? This guy's kind of slow, lighty, so it holds up. Yeah, so it's contact here, so it's going to get a bad exit here.
We're here, but
Almost touching right there. And Defy gives him a little nudge there. And then Defy loses the car here. Did this guy just lose it to himself, it looks like. Unless
my nose up the inside. I probably wasted
How does he
too
lose
much
this
battery
car?
here, but it's fine. As you can see, Jared Van Bussel
he didn't see much contact with Lady, but
makes
somehow he
contact
lost
with
it.
lighting and gets spun around. And we're going to try and stick it around the outside with Daniel Goshlock here.
You should be able to do this because you got better battery. But he's going to none. Which I guess everyone's going now, but maybe you keep it medium. Get it better.
He kind of defended way too hard and he had a 3 seconds, so I was a little bit angry about this. I kind of drove onto the gravel because I was over pushing, so that's not his fault, but I was
So there's Riche. I think he's P1 right now. Used hards.
still a little mad that he was defending so hard with a 3-second penalty, because I think him staying behind would have maybe gained him more time to the train behind us.
It's Ballant
But
up
now
there.
heading onto the final lap, opening the
Okay,
DRS for the
35.
first straight for the first time. We're going to try and save a little bit on non. just to see if we can make any moves. As you can see, Daniel Goshak breaking super early because of the train being super tight here. I love this track so much because of how fun the battles are, how it's basically one DRS train and super hard to overtake. So when you do, it just feels super nice. And as you can see, another huge pileup. You can see our teammate Balance Alekis up there in P4, I think that is. The two people ahead of us have a 3 second. Maybe one will be removed for life.
Like here, you got to be careful because you're gonna get fifth and sixth based on penalty. You just don't want to spin or get spun out and then lose that gap, that 3 second gap. Look at that big. Let's look at that by hour.
The two
Yeah,
people
one guy going
ahead of us
aggressive.
have a 3 second.
Then Bolland was
Maybe one will.
like, if I'm Bolland, I stay to the left. I don't think there's a car there. You're only making it too wide. You're not gonna pass by going up the inside on a car that's too wide in front. You're gonna want to go outside, get a better exit.
Be removed for life.
Yeah, look at that. And there's no car there. I would just switch back here. It's really 3 wide. So if you really go deep and get a really good exit, you can start passing people.
And as you can see, we're gonna send it late lunge on Daniel Goshak. We're gonna this
Richey, worst tires,
same
gets bad
exact
exit.
situation as last lap.
Violent
He's gonna get a
gets
very
ahead
bad
there.
exit. We're gonna try and cling on to his tire, but as you can see, I go a little deep, meaning that he will get the move.
I think Bolland gets pushed off a bit by Richey, so I think that's still under investigation, but he gets pushed off and loses that position, and he might lose it to Lighting.
And as you can see, TDM Lighting and Balin Alekis battling super hard. Balin Alekis gets pushed off a little bit.
Ooh, pushed off again.
And he almost spins. We're gonna go further on the outside, but he's my teammate, so I know I probably shouldn't do this. So I lift it off just to be nice to him. And overall, that is gonna make us come in P4, P5 after penalties, but P2 and P3 may get a penalty, so it could be a
It was P5 on track. We'll see. Maybe I'll update the description if he gets a penalty. Should come out soon.
possible podium. That would mean we went from P17 to P3 with no safety cars in 16 laps by ourselves.
So, Daniel Gottschalk 7th, Richey 3rd. So the medium hard didn't really work. It's because you didn't get the advantage in the first stint. They were able to work together nicely in the second stint, but the problem is if you can't gap the mediums over the hards, you lose all that advantage in their first stint. So you're coming on neutral, and then you got worse tires the entire second stint. So that's the disadvantage there. Yes, more battling on the hard runners. Yeah, you get more advantage, but you didn't have that.
So overall, a very good.
Yeah, overall, getting pole. Basically, you were P1 on track. If you were in the lead before disconnect. Best race I've seen by Defy, especially no track limit warnings, and not getting too frustrated. So good job there. So that was my review of his review of our engineering in his racing. So thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. See ya. Bye.